Well, this is as far as the pavement goes today. The rest of it's on snow. Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth. And we are going to explore the areas above Camas, around the Soapstone area today, with our friends from Weller Backcountry Adventures. Now, this is an organization that's affiliated with, but not directly, Weller Recreation, our good friends who sell snowmobiles and side-by-sides. Backcountry Adventures is a rental and guided tour operation, which means that if you've never gone snowmobiling before and you would like to experience it, but you're a little afraid to just rent and go, you can come up, hire a guide, take your group, and go on a ride. You can do a 3-hour tour, you can do a 6-hour tour, whichever one you'd like. Now, if you've been snowmobiling for a while and you want to up your game, you can also hire a guide, bring your own machines, and get out and explore some great backcountry. That's what it's about, and that's what we're going to find out about today. So let's quit gabbing and let's start sledding.
This is my second year doing tour guiding in this area. The terrain is very familiar to me, as I have spent just under 100 days tour guiding last winter out here, although I have been snowmobiling in this area for about 12 winters. The Uinta mountain range is unique in the fact that it's a high plateau that runs east-west, the only one in the continental United States, versus a mountain range that runs north-south like a typical Wasatch mountain range. Is very abrupt. So it's great for skiing, but not so great for snowmobiling because it's so steep. It's better for the ski resorts. Out here, it's a lot better for snowmobiling, more conducive because everything's at elevation with peppery peaks all around and meadows. And it's a really good area to bring dynamic groups with varying skill levels all in one group, because each area we go to, we can offer spots for different riders to accelerate their own personal skills. A little bit of everything, lots of exploration out here.
So I've been guiding full-time for about a year. I did it on and off for a little bit, and really it's just, you have to have an interest in the sport and be willing to go to work. It's interesting because snowmobiling is kind of a very humbling sport. You can feel like you're doing really well and then you'll hit a spot and they'll just throw you for a loop. And so I think setting expectations with people and kind of telling them about the sport, kind of coaching them through some spots, and then just taking them to areas where they can experiment and play. Like this area here, it's a great open meadow where you can play around and start to get a feeling for the sled and just explore.
Hey, there's a lot of snow up here, but I guess if you lived in Utah this year, you would expect that. What's very interesting is we've been climbing the mountain as we see that they're just layers upon layers of powder. It's almost like you've got a new coat every couple of days, and while that makes for some great boondocking and powder experiences, it's also good to remember to check the avalanche center before you come up, because some areas with that added snow might be prone to avalanche. So always check that out. Well, we're going to do more. We're going to find out a little bit more about Weller Backcountry Adventures in a few minutes. Right now, we've got this story for you. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are in the Uinta Mountains with Weller Backcountry Adventures, and we have certainly found our snow spot today. Now, I want you to look at this behind us. Here's a little kiosk here. And figure that the wind has blown about 30% of the snow off of that as it's accumulated. It still gives you a pretty good idea of how much snow there is up here. So come ride. In fact, the next layer of snow is actually just starting. There's a new fresh layer of powder on its way. Everybody has a different reason why they like to ride, and they have a different passion for it. Let's find out about the guys with us today.
Well, there's really nothing quite like snowmobiling. Like all the other sports you do, they're all very unique, and snowmobiling is really unique because you're able to get out in these really cool areas and just experience winter in different ways.
I like being able to see how happy people are after they go and have an experience. I always talk to everybody that comes in, and they always talk about how fantastic the experience was, how they were able to see such amazing views and spend time with their group.
Snowmobiling is very important to me. It's a family sport, much like the Wellers, where everyone is very into the sport and has grown up with it, and it's just something that they've all done, and they're all actually very good at it. They won't tell you that, but they all actually are, every one of them. My family was very similar. My dad had 3 brothers, his dad had 3 brothers. They ran the snowmobile club in my hometown back in Maine, and it's just a really great family sport. Some people may be out here for other reasons, you know, personal reasons to succeed on snowmobiling, and maybe it's their own personal sport, but when everyone's out here, no matter the group size, they all kind of feel like family because we're all out here together and enjoying this space out here and what nature provides for us and the terrain. It's a great group camaraderie out here because we can all share this together, and it's a unique experience unlike any other motorsport has to offer.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are up above Soapstone in the Uinta Mountains with Weller Backcountry Recreation. And you know, one of the great things about riding up in this area is that you have these big meadows that break out. You can do a little playing around in a meadow, and the trees aren't too thick here. You've got some places where you can boondock through the trees. So it provides just a whole day of a lot of fun. The thing is, how many of us actually feel comfortable doing that? Well, that's part of the advantage of taking a guided tour. Let's find out a little bit about Weller Backcountry Recreation.
Weller Backcountry Adventures started this year. We've ran a rental business for several decades. This past year we've started doing guided tours as well. The guided tours just help us to be able to take our customers out into the backcountry safely, teach them how to recreate responsibly. The winter is an awesome time to recreate, and snowmobiling is a fantastic way to do that. And our goal is to help our customers have fun in the backcountry and to enjoy the snow. For those who are newer to the sport, we put them on just lower horsepower machines, go around all the scenic trails, get into these open meadows like this, just get used to driving a snowmobile. You know, more of a half-day experience, and just gets people exposed to the sport. On the other side, we do an all-day tour that gets people more off of the roads, further into the backcountry, up under the peaks, up in the high mountain meadows and lakes, where they're able to refine their snowmobiling skills and create unforgettable experiences.
The way all the tours start out is we meet at our location and we kind of make sure everybody has the right gear, make sure we're all have all of our safety gear as well, and walk around the sleds, make sure everybody understands the basic controls and how to run them. Be on the trail for a minute, and then we'll find some good little spots where people can start to familiarize themselves with the sleds.
We love being in business because we love our customers and putting smiles on their faces. So we'd love to have people stop in and say hello and to hit us up about going on an adventure with us.
Well, you can see these guys are well equipped to give you a good day out on the snow. I got a question for you. You're from Maine. You live in Utah. You snowmobiled in both places.
Yep.
Which one has the better snow?
Utah, obviously. This winter it's been quite stormy and we can't really complain. 170% of snowpack this year, which has been incredible. It's not always like that, but even when it's not always like that, everyone says, where's the snow? And it's usually pretty easy to find. Always untouched meadows. The Uinta is a very vast mountain range that gives us plenty of acreage to play on and find that good snow that everyone talks about and wants to come into town for.
Is it hard to find virgin snow on any given day on a winter like this?
No. Last week we had a period of 7 weeks with no snow, and I was still bringing people every day to new meadows that were untouched. So we have a lot of terrain.
In the sense that it's a whole new fresh slate.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to more adventure today because I know we're not done yet, and you're not done yet. Here is the story for you to look at. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are back from our Weller Backcountry adventure, and I'm in one piece. Nothing fell off, nothing broke. They did a great job of getting us out there, and I forgot to tell you something. You know, there's some of you sitting at home right now going, oh, that'd be so much fun, but I'd freeze to death. I don't have any clothes. I don't have any gloves. Don't worry about it, because part of the package is your goggles, your helmet, your gloves, snowsuits, boots, even these the snow gear. This is all the kind of stuff that you can rent from them as part of your outdoor adventure package. So there's no excuse if you don't think you've dressed warm enough. These are plenty toasty, and they were really helpful today. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the things coming up next week on At Your Leisure. Ooh, a classic. This is like a late 60s Skidoo. We had one just about this vintage, and it was the first year of the pop-up headlight, which is pretty darn cool. Well, if you would like to take a trip with Weller Backcountry Adventures, just get in touch with them, and they'll take care of everything, and don't worry about it. They've got plenty of horsepower, unlike this little guy that probably wouldn't climb anything we were on today. Anyway, remember, there is adventure around every bend. You just got to get out there and create your own adventure at your leisure. See you later.